Heavyweight, the kings of the ring. These guys are 200 plus pounds of raw power. When they step into the squared circle, it's like watching two tanks collide. One clean shot from a heavyweight can end a fight faster than you can say, knockout. These aren't just big guys, they're forces of nature. Take Muhammad Ali, the greatest of all time. His punches were so fast, they called him the Louisville Lip. Or Mike Tyson, the baddest man on the planet. His uppercuts could send opponents into orbit. And let's not forget about Lennox Lewis, the last undisputed heavyweight champion. He had the size, the skill, and the power to dominate the division. In the heavyweight division, one punch can change everything. These giants aren't here to dance, they're here to dominate. When the heavyweights throw down, the world stops to watch. Cruiserweights, the perfect blend of size and speed. At 200 pounds, these guys have the power of a heavyweight and the agility of a light heavy. It's like watching a panther in the ring, sleek, powerful, and ready to pounce. Imagine a heavyweight who can throw combinations like a welterweight. That's a cruiserweight. They got the strength to end a fight with one shot, but the speed to set it up with a flurry. They can box, they can punch, and they can do it all with the flair of a showman. Take Evander Holyfield, the real deal. He ruled the cruiserweights before moving up to conquer the heavyweights. Or David Haye, the Haymaker. His explosive style made him a star in 2 weight classes, and Alexander Usyk, the current unified cruiserweight champion. He's a master boxer with the skills to give any heavyweight a run for their money. Light heavyweight, power meets precision, pure excitement. At 175 pounds, these guys have the size to bang, but the feel to box your ears off. They're not just fighters. They're chess masters in shorts. Light heavyweights don't just rely on power. They've got the footwork to dance around you, the jab to keep you at bay, and the combinations to finish you off. It's like watching an artist paint a masterpiece, but with blood. Take Archie Moore, the old mongoose. He fought well into his 40s, using guile and experience to outfox younger, stronger foes. Or Roy Jones Jr., Captain Hook. His speed and reflexes made him untouchable, a boxer who could beat you in any style. And let's not forget about Sergey Kovalev, the Crusher. He had the power to end a fight with a single punch. Super middleweights, jack of all trades division. At 168 pounds, these fighters can do it all. They've got the speed of a middleweight, the power of a light heavy, and the chin of a heavyweight. They're the Swiss Army knives of the sport. Super middleweights can adapt to any style. They can box on the outside, bang on the inside, or do a little of both. They're the ultimate hybrids. Part boxer, part puncher, all action. Take Andrew Ward, SOG, he could outthink you, outbox you, and outfight you. His mind was as sharp as his jab. Or Joe Calzaghe, the pride of Wales. His hands were so fast he could hit you before you even saw him move. Carl Froch, the Cobra. He had the heart of a lion and the punch of a mule, always ready for war. Middleweights, professors of pugilism. At 160 pounds, these fighters turned boxing into a ballet of brutality. They got the speed to paint pretty pictures, the power to splatter the canvas, and the heart to do it all for 12 rounds. Middleweights don't just fight, they perform. Every move is calculated. Every punch is a brush stroke. They're not just warriors. They're ringmasters orchestrating a symphony of violence. Take Marvin Hagler, marvelous. His bald head and steely gaze struck fear into the hearts of his opponents. His fists did the rest. Or Carlos Monzon, Escoqueta. He ruled the division with an iron jab and a chin made of granite. Super welterweights, tweeners with terrifying talent. At 154 pounds, these fighters are the crossbreeds of boxing. They've got the speed of a welter, the power of a middle, and the heart of a lion. They're the mutts of the sport, and that's a compliment. Super welterweights can box, brawl, or do a bit of both. They're the chameleons of the ring, adapting to their opponent's style and then imposing their own. They're not just versatile, they're downright dangerous. Take Terry Norris, terrible. His hands were so fast, they called him the Cobra. His punch was so deadly, they called him a king. Or Winky Wright, the Wink. His defense was so tight, you couldn't hit him with a handful of rice. Welterweights, action heroes of boxing. At 147 pounds, these fighters are the infantry of boxing. They're not the biggest, not the strongest, but pound for pound, they're the toughest SOBs in the sport. Welterweights don't just fight. they go to war. For 12 rounds, they'll trade leather like their lives depend on it. They'll take 2 to give 1, and then ask for more. They're not just fighters, they're gladiators. Take Sugar Ray Leonard, the sweetest scientist of them all. His smile could light up a room, but his fists could darken an opponent's day. Or Floyd Mayweather Jr. Money. Love him or hate him, you had to respect his skills. The welterweight division is where legends are born. When the welters go to battle, the world watches. Super lightweights, the division of the destroyers. At 140 pounds, these fighters are the wrecking balls of boxing. They're not the flashiest, not the prettiest, but when they hit you, you stay hit. They'll walk through fire to land a punch and then ask for a light. They're not just tough, they're indestructible. Take Kostya, the Thunder from Down Under. His right hand was so deadly, they called it the hammer, or Mickey Ward Irish. His left hook to the body could make a grown man cry. The super lightweight division is where toughness meets technique. These fighters can box when they need to, but they rather brawl. When the super lights throw down, it's not just a fight, it's a street fight in shorts. Lightweights, artists of the ring. At 135 pounds, these fighters are the Hodinas of the ring. They'll make you miss, make you pay, and then disappear before you even know what hit you. Lightweights are the tricksters of boxing. They've got more moves than a chessboard, more angles than a protractor. They'll dance around you, dazzle you with speed, and then drop you with a punch you never saw coming. Take Roberto Duran, hands of stone. His fists were so heavy, they could crush a rock. His heart was so big, it could fill a room. Or Pernell Whitaker, Sweet Pea. He was so slick, he could slip a punch in a phone booth. And let's not forget about Jung Koo Chang. The Korean legend was a master of the knockout, using his punching power to become one of the most feared fighters of his era. Super featherweights, pocket rockets, non-stop action. At 130 pounds, these fighters are the Energizer bunnies of boxing. They'll keep going and going and going until someone pulls their plug. Super featherweights are the workhorses of the sport. They've got pace for days, stamina for weeks, and a work ethic that would make a mule blush. They're not just fighters, they're machines. Take Azuma Nelson, the professor. He began a boxing lesson for 12 rounds, and then school you in the 13th. Or Julio Cesar Chavez Sr., El Gran Campeón Mexicano. He had a chin of iron, fists of steel, and a heart of gold. And let's not forget about Srisaket Sorongvisai. The Thai southpaw has the power to end a fight with a single punch. These fighters don't just go the distance, they sprint the marathon. When the super feathers lace them up, get ready for a lesson in perseverance. Featherweights, ballet dancers with brutal punches. At 126 pounds, these fighters are the Cirque du Soleil of boxing. They'll flip, spin, and somersault their way to victory, all while making it look easy. They got the flash of a firecracker, the flair of a peacock, and the moods of a breakdancer. They're not just fighters, they're entertainers. Take Prince Nassim Heyman Nas. He enter the ring on a flying carpet, do a flip, and then knock you out with a punch from another dimension. Or Willie Pep, Will-O-the-Wisp. He was so elusive, you couldn't hit him with a handful of confetti. These fighters aren't just warriors. They're acrobats, flipping and flying their way to glory. When the feathers take flight, get ready for a show. Super bantamweights, chess masters with lightning fists. At 122 pounds, these fighters are the conductors of the ring. They'll orchestrate a symphony of punches, a concerto of combinations, and a masterpiece of movement. Super bantamweights are the virtuosos of boxing. They've got the timing of a metronome, the precision of a surgeon, and the creativity of a composer. They're not just fighters, they're artists. Take Guillermo Ribindo, El Chacal. He's so skilled, he could make a punching bag look foolish. Or Nonito Binaire, the Filipino Flash. His left hook was so fast, it could turn back time. These fighters aren't just brawlers, they're sculptors, chiseling masterpieces with every punch. When the super bantams take the stage, expect a work of art. Bantamweights, quick-draw artists of boxing. At 118 pounds, these fighters are the Tasmanian devils of boxing. They'll whirl, twirl, and swirl around you, leaving you dizzy, dazed, and confused. They've got more gears than a race car, more RPMs than a lawnmower. They're not just fast, they're supersonic. Take Fighting Hirata, the eternal champion. He was so quick, he could dodge raindrops. Or Carlos Soares, Camus. His punches were so fast it arrived yesterday. The bantamweight division is where boxing becomes a blur. These fighters aren't just quick, they're lighting in a bottle. When the bantams take center stage, don't blink, you might miss it. Super flyweight, 115 pounds. Super flyweights, mighty mice, enormous heart. At 115 pounds, these fighters are the building blocks of boxing. They're small, they're dense, and when they collide, they create explosions. Super flyweights are the particles of the sport. They're so small, you need a microscope to see them. But when they hit you, you feel it in your bones. Take Roman Gonzalez, Chocolatito. He's so sweet, he'll give you a toothache. But his punches are so sour, they'll make your eyes water. Or Juan Francisco Estrada, El Gallo. He's so precise, he could thread a needle with a punch. These fighters aren't just small, they're subatomic, splitting atoms with every punch. When the superflies take flight, expect the unexpected. Flyweights, the division of the bees. At 112 pounds, these fighters are the busy bees of boxing. They'll buzz around you, sting you, and then fly away before you can even spot them. Flyweights are the workers of the sport. They never stop moving, never stop punching, never stop buzzing. They're not just active, they're hyperactive. Take Jimmy Wild, the mighty atom. He was so small, he could fight in a phone booth. But his punches were so big, they could be heard across the Atlantic. Or Pancho Villa, the first Filipino world champ. He was so fast, he could catch a fly with chopsticks. These fighters aren't just busy, they're a swarm, attacking from all angles. When the flies take flight, keep your hands up. Like flyweights, hummingbirds with hammers. At 108 pounds, these fighters are the tiniest of the tiny. They're so small, they could fight in a shoebox. But they're so fast, they could dodge a bullet. They're so quick, they could make time stand still. They're so nimble, they can dance on the head of a pin. They're not just small, they're microscopic. Take Ivan Calderon, Iron Boy. He was so elusive, he could make a ghost look solid. Or Michael Carbajal, Little Hands of Stone. His punches were so heavy, they could crack concrete. The light flyweight division is where boxing becomes a fairy tale. These fighters aren't just tiny, they're magical, casting spells with every move. When the light flies take wing, believe in the impossible. Minimum weights, quarks of boxing, pure warriors. At 105 pounds, these fighters are the quarks of boxing. They're not just small, they're fundamental, the very building blocks of the sport. They're so pure, they could be bottled and sold as a tonic. They're so elemental, they could be studied in a lab. They're not just fighters, they're the very definition of a fighter. Take Ricardo Lopez, El Finito. He was so flawless, he could make perfection look sloppy. Or Channa Porpoise, the Thai prince. He was so regal, he could make a king bow down. The minimum weight division is where boxing becomes philosophy. These fighters aren't just small, they're profound, embodying the very essence of the sweet science. When the minimums take the stage, expect a revelation.